Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
This year, the Roman Catholic Church seems to be more interested in the election than any other time that I remember in history. I am Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, the Roman Catholic Church and other, obviously, Protestant churches, but particularly the Roman Catholic Church, has become very interested in the issue of religious freedom this year. In fact, they actually set aside a time. I spoke at a Catholic church earlier this year. Harry Mahet, our senior litigation counsel with Liberty Counsel, also spoke at a Roman Catholic church earlier this year with regards to the issue of religious freedom. It is an amazing situation to see Roman Catholics and Protestants coming together on this issue of religious freedom. Well, they've actually invited Protestants to come and speak at Roman Catholic gatherings on the issue of religious freedom. But they have become very vocal on this issue, producing a number of videos talking about the importance of voting and protecting our religious freedom.
Well, it's not surprising. I think the Catholic Church recognizes that religious liberty, the Catholic Church, Christianity in general, is under attack at an unprecedented level. The HHS mandate requiring that the Catholics Catholic organizations provide sterilization, abortifacient, abortion services, and so forth under penalty of law, gross First Amendment violation. You know, that prompted Richard Land with the Southern Baptist Convention, as I recall at that time, to say we're all Catholics now. And so evangelicals and Catholics are coming together and creating, I think, a unified force in defense of religious liberty during this election. It is, you know, we are called for a time such as this, and we are under assault right now.
And, you know, certainly there's obviously, that's not to diminish the theological differences between Roman Catholics and Protestants, because there obviously are those theological differences. But at least on the issue of religious freedom, there is an agreement that we are facing a significant time in American history with regards to religious freedom. This New York Times article is entitled, "Priest Dip into Politics Raises Outcry." It's talking about a priest on the east side of Manhattan that carried a blunt political message, and it was basically stating forth his opinion regarding the upcoming presidential elections. It was a letter that was put in the bulletin signed by the 6 former ambassadors to the Vatican in terms of who they were supporting for the presidential election because of the issue of abortion, marriage as it relates to same-sex marriage, and also the national health care law that requires coverage for contraception. It also requires coverage for sterilization and also abortion-inducing drugs. You know, the Catholic churches and the bishops have put out some very significantly worded statements and proclamations on religious freedom. And in fact, historically, interestingly, now Cardinal Timothy Dolan of the New York Archdiocese, when he was Bishop Timothy Dolan, before he was elevated to cardinal, he met with President Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. Jim Daly was the person who came in as the chief of staff to replace Rahm Emanuel. Jim Daly opposed, and Jim Daly is part of the lineage, the son of the former mayor of Chicago, Mayor Daley. And
the brother of the last mayor before Rahm Emanuel.
That's right. And so he's got a long political history. He was brought in after Rahm Emanuel left to run for mayor of Chicago. He was President Barack Obama's chief of staff at this time, and he opposed the HHS mandate. And he believed that it was wrong to have this HHS mandate. Vice President Joe Biden, also a Roman Catholic, opposed the HHS mandate, also gave that opinion to the president. Valerie Jarrett, however, the president's closest advisor, also supported the HHS mandate and said, well, that many Catholics don't support the Roman Catholic doctrine anyway, so they're not going to really be bothered by that. This, according to the book, The Amateur, written by Edward Klein. And it does a lot of conversations with regards to what happens in back rooms. President Barack Obama ignored Bill Daley and ignored Vice President Biden. Bill Daley then, because Valerie Jarrett was stopping access to the president, he went around her back and ultimately brought in then Bishop Timothy Dolan to meet with the president. The bishop then said that it was a violation of religious freedom and freedom of conscience. Notwithstanding, the president moved forward. Kathleen Sebelius supported the HHS mandate, and it was ultimately instituted. There was such a row over that between Valerie Jarrett and Bill Daley. Bill Daley resigned as the chief of staff.
Yeah.
And the HHS mandate has become law in 2012. And that HHS mandate has invigorated the Roman Catholic Church more than any other time, I believe, in my recollection, to really get involved in this political election. And their focus is on religious freedom, abortion, and marriage as the union of one man and one woman.
Yeah, and we saw prior to the Democratic National Convention, Cardinal Dolan had offered to be involved, to pray at this event. They had first declined. Then there was another row, an uproar. They brought him in, and I appreciated the fact that Cardinal Dolan took that opportunity during that prayer to in a very innocuous way, but a very direct way, to pray for life, for innocent human life, something that we should all come together and pray for, to pray for the protection of life. Yet that created an uproar among liberals, that he would dare to pray for the protection of life, because what is abortion? Well, it's the taking of human life. And so, these individuals support the taking of human life. So I've been encouraged by Cardinal Dolan's stand, his fearless stand, and it appears that the Catholic Church is showing no signs of backing down anytime soon.
I agree. I just spoke to a religious freedom rally down in Naples, Florida, and we had a lot of people there on a Saturday afternoon in a public park speaking about the issue of religious freedom. I addressed the group on that issue. There are these religious freedom gatherings that are taking place around the country, and certainly they're not only for Roman Catholics. And I think what is ultimately needs to be clear, this HHS mandate, which it is that mandate, I think, probably more than any other, that has stirred up the Roman Catholic Church and also other Protestant churches as well. It is not just a forced requirement that you fund contraception or that you fund sterilization surgical procedures. It is also a forced requirement that you fund abortion-inducing drugs, the Plan B, the various kinds of so-called morning after pills, the Ella, and some of these others as well. Those abortion-inducing drugs, while on all occasions they may not produce abortion, on some occasions they do produce abortion, and you just never know when it's actually going to result in an abortion. The point of it is that now religious organizations such as Liberty University, a Protestant institution, Roman Catholic institutions, any institution of faith is going to be forced under this mandate to confront an issue. And the issue is, do you uphold your religious conviction that you cannot take the innocent human life, or do you ultimately obey the federal government's mandate? Yeah. And if you think about it, that's just unprecedented. James Madison said religious freedom is an unalienable right. It doesn't come from the Constitution. It's not because we have the First Amendment. It's because it comes from God. It's an unalienable right. And now, for the first time in history, we are being forced to choose between the two. I know for Liberty, I know for other organizations around the country, there's over 30 suits, and those are growing. That is a non-compromisable issue. People
need to understand, too, that abortifacient requirement, the mandate, is just the camel's nose in the tent. If anybody thinks that this doesn't mean a compelled providing abortion on demand, then I've got an island to sell you. That is next on the agenda. And in fact, Obamacare grants the Secretary of Health and Human Services a carte blanche authority to unilaterally do whatever she, quote, deems necessary. So that is next on the agenda, I guarantee.
Well, I encourage you to go to our website because, of course, this is a critical time in American history, and support our 40 Days to Save America. We have information on the website. The 40 Days to Save America is a time of fasting and prayer, to pray for America, to pray for the direction of our country. Literally, some of these core values are at issue in all the different elections that you're going to be facing. So I encourage you to pray for America and then become educated about where the candidates stand on these issues. We have 501c3 voter guides that are available at lc.org and also at lcaction.org. You can print those guides off. If you know of other voter guides that we don't have, send them to us and we'll review them for 501c3 compliance. And if they comply, we'll put them on our website as well. The point is to vote your biblical values and understand where the candidates stand on these important issues. Encourage your pastor to speak on these issues. Encourage your church to get involved and get this information out to your community. Post it on Facebook, send it to your email, and ultimately make sure that people vote their values and know where the candidates stand on these important issues. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. Support Liberty Counsel in prayer and also with your financial contributions.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.